Thursday, December 22nd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East, and yet another storm system moving into our region today in this very quick-hitting weather pattern, and there's still some question marks with exactly how our Christmas weekend weather will unfold. Christmas Eve is pretty straightforward, but still some debate amongst the models as to whether or not it's actually going to be a rainy or maybe a dry Christmas Day. I'll show you that here. I'm still leaning in the rainy scenario this morning. Let's take a look at the radar, and here comes the next batch of rain. And boy, it's really raining in parts of North Mississippi, southern Arkansas, parts of Louisiana, and eastern Texas. And of course, this is during the 5 o'clock a.m. hour when I normally cut this video. And that's with our next system that's rolling our way. Temperatures still very, very mild. You had 5 a.m. temperatures this morning in the low 60s in many, many Piedmont spots. And you have to keep in mind that the average high temperature today is in the upper 40s and the lower 50s. So we're 10 or more degrees above average in relation to our high temperatures, even for our low temps this morning. Now, this next system, a pretty energetic one, and there's enough instability down closer to the Gulf Coast for a severe weather threat. In fact, a slight risk from running from North Georgia into much of Alabama, southern Mississippi, and parts of Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle region. And that general thunderstorm outlook does include parts of the Carolinas and the Virginias. I wouldn't be shocked again today if there were some rumbles of thunder here and there across the region. Now let me show you what's going on in the upper levels. This is this afternoon on the European model. Here comes that disturbance. It's driving our next round of rain. It's dampening out as it's moving our way, but it will be enough to bring another pretty decent rain event to a good chunk of the region. Now again, it's still a chaotic pattern. Tons of energy pinwheeling up in Canada and off the Pacific, another piece of energy diving toward the desert southwest. Now let's go forward in time to Christmas Day. This is Christmas Day in the afternoon, and this is the European model. And notice that southern stream energy still pretty well intact as it's interacting a bit with this northern branch energy diving in. Now contrast that to the GFS, and it's similar but not as consolidated with the southern branch energy. All right, let's go back to the European again. Look at that and compare that to the Canadian, and it's completely northern branch dominant, and the Canadian doesn't bring a drop of rain to us on Christmas Day. The European is another rainy scenario, and the GFS is kind of a glancing blow, at least with its 0Z run. All right, let's go with the GFS for today. Here you go this afternoon. The rain will develop back into the area, and we'll have rain around at times tonight. Now tomorrow, I think any rain, say from I-85 and points north and west, will be over by daybreak, if not by then, soon thereafter. And I think some pretty good intervals of afternoon sunshine tomorrow. That'll be nice to see. And then on Christmas Eve, it'll be a dry day. I think a partly cloudy sky, highs Christmas Eve probably in the 50s for much of the region. Now here we go with Christmas morning. This is 7 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning on the GFS. The next round of rain trying to spread on in. The Canadian, though, totally dry Christmas morning. Compare that to the European model, and there's that next round of rain spreading in. And we go 6 hours later, that rainy scenario very much in place across the region Christmas Day on the European model. And again, this morning I'm still leaning in that rainy type of direction for Christmas Day. So I'm still going with some rain Christmas Day with highs upper 40s, probably at most low 50s if that rain does settle in. If the rain's with us, it'll probably be 40s for most of the region in the foothills and the Piedmont. All right, we go out a little later in time. This is Monday. Looks like a sunny day on Monday. That'll be kind of nice to see. And then later on next week, still some uncertainty. The European still trying to pop some type of low pressure by late Tuesday or Wednesday. The Canadian brings another round of rain in by Thursday, another round of chilly rain. So we will see. Now, one more image to show you. This is the NAO, and it has been in the positive territory ever since, well, really late October, more often than not at least, and there are some indications that it's going to try to dip back toward the negative territory as we get into January. That's not a certainty, but if that does occur, it would be more favorable for blocking, and that would mean more likely chances of more sustained cold in the eastern parts of the country. Now, I just want to say this very quickly in terms of next week, the week between Christmas and New Year. It's still not going to be cold in terms of relation to average for this time of year, but it's not going to be as mild as this week. I think a lot of highs probably in the 50s for the majority of next week, a little bit above average, but not nearly as warm as what we've seen as we've gone through a good chunk of this week. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.